Welcome back to English Edge, folks. I'm Vicky.
And I'm Leo, your co-pilot on this linguistic journey. Or maybe more like a rickshaw ride through the English language jungle. It's less luxurious, but, we get there.
Oh, the professional email. The digital handshake that can either open doors or, slam them shut with the force of 1,000 angry autocorrect fails.
Exactly. We're talking about mastering that tiny little message that can make or break your professional reputation. No pressure, right? But don't worry, we're going to make it fun and maybe a little less terrifying. It's true though, Vicky, isn't it? Like, we all send emails, right? Daily, probably hourly. But how many of us actually stop to think, is this email, actually good? Or are we just like firing off digital pigeon bombs and hoping for the best?
Oh, absolutely. It's the most common form of professional communication now, and yet it's treated like a text message to your buddy about last night's pizza, which, by the way, mine was glorious, just to be clear.
TMI, Vicky. TMI. But you're right. I mean, and this is a true story, I once sent an email to a potential client trying to sound super professional, really on the ball, and I accidentally signed off with, "Yours in glitter and gratitude."
No! Leo, please tell me you're making that up.
I wish I was. My phone autocorrected sincerely to "in glitter." And I didn't proofread. I hit send, and then like 5 minutes later, I saw it. I wanted to crawl into a hole and just like hibernate for a decade. The client never replied, by the way. I still wonder if they think I'm a performance artist who just really loves sparkles.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. See, and that's the thing. It's these little slip-ups that can have like a cascading effect. I remember I once copied the wrong person on an email, a very, very candid email about, well, let's just say a project manager's unique approach to deadlines. And that person was, in fact, the project manager's mother.
Barely. Let's just say Thanksgiving dinner at that company was awkward for years. So yeah, these things, they seem small, but they really do highlight why paying attention to your emails is like not just good etiquette, it's career survival.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of first impressions, because honestly, that glitter email, that was a first impression. We need to talk about the hook, right? Like before they even get to the glitter, they've got to open the thing.
Ah, yes, the mighty subject line. The digital equivalent of shouting, "Hey, look at me!" And not in a creepy way.
Exactly. It's the headline of your email. And honestly, it's so often like an afterthought. People just put hello or meeting or my personal favorite, forward, important. What even is that?
Oh, don't forget urgent. That's like definitely not urgent. That just screams, I don't know how to prioritize my own inbox, so I'm making it your problem.
Guilty as charged sometimes, I won't lie. But seriously, a good subject line, it's a tightrope walk, isn't it? You want to grab attention, but you don't want to be clickbait. You're not trying to sell me anti-aging cream.
No, you're trying to convey the essence of your email. It needs to be clear, concise, and ideally, give me a reason to open it. Think of it as a movie trailer. You want to see enough to know if you're interested, but not the whole plot. So, meeting agenda for Tuesday is good. You won't believe what happens at our next meeting. Hint, it involves coffee and dragons, is maybe less professional.
Though I would open the dragon one, just saying. But you're right, it's about setting expectations. Project X update is infinitely better than just update. Or worse, no subject line at all. I get those sometimes and I'm like, is this a ghost? Is my computer possessed?
Or is it just Frank from accounting who always forgets to add a subject? It's always Frank. But then, once you've lured them in with your perfectly crafted subject line, you hit them with the greeting.
The salutation. And oh, the minefield that is the salutation. Are we dear sir, madam? Are we hi, first name? Are we yo, team? The possibilities are baffling.
They are, and again, it's about context and knowing your audience.
If you're emailing someone for the first time in a formal setting, Dear Mr. or Ms. last name is generally a safe bet. You can't go wrong. But if you're writing to your colleagues you talk to every day, Dear esteemed colleagues might feel a little stiff.
Yeah, like you're about to read them a proclamation from the monarchy. Hear ye, the coffee machine is broken. And then there's the opposite extreme. I once got an email from a very new intern that started with, sup.
It's like they're trying to be cool, but they just end up sounding like a robot trying to fit in. Greetings, carbon-based life form, philo-human.
Yeah, exactly. So, rule of thumb, I think, is start a little more formal, especially with new contacts. You can always loosen up later if they respond with a more casual tone. It's much easier to go from formal to informal than the other way around. Try starting an email to your CEO with, "What up, boss?" and then trying to switch to "respectfully yours" in the next one. It just doesn't work.
Trust me, I've tried. They just don't get my communic genius, Vicky. It's a tragedy, really. But yes, always better to err on the side of respect. And if you're not sure of their gender or their preferred pronoun, Dear Justice, and then fill in the rest about your sender.
Or even just hello team or greetings if it's a group email and you don't want to list everyone. It covers all bases. It's polite, it's professional, and it saves you from accidentally addressing the CEO as, "Hey there, sexy," because your autocorrect had a bad day. Right. So you've charmed them with your subject line. You've greeted them like the professional yet approachable human you are. Now they've opened the email, the moment of truth. What do you put in the actual email? The meat and potatoes, if you will.
Ah, the body, where dreams are either made or shattered. This is where you don't want to get lost in the weeds. Metaphorically speaking, of course. No, you need clarity, conciseness, and dare I say, a little bit of oomph.
Oomph? Is that a technical term now for email writing? Please add more oomph to your quarterly report. I like it. But seriously, how many times have you opened an email and it's just a wall of text? No paragraphs, no bullet points, just a linguistic brick wall.
Oh my goodness, yes. It's like the sender is daring you to find the actual point. It's a treasure hunt, but the treasure is just a meeting request for next Tuesday. And you're like, could you not have just said that in the first sentence?
Exactly. It's like they're trying to hit a word count for a college essay, but it's an email about changing the coffee brand. Just get to the point. What do you want from me? What's the purpose of this email? That should be clear almost immediately.
Yes, and if you have complex information, please, for the love of all that is legible, break it down. Bullet points are your best friends. Short paragraphs are like little breathers for the reader's eyes. No one wants to feel like they're deciphering an ancient scroll to understand the new PTO policy.
Or worse, a scroll from, like, the legal department? My eyes just glaze over. I'm suddenly fluent and, like, not reading that. So simplify, simplify, simplify. If you can say it in one sentence, don't use 5. And avoid jargon if your audience isn't familiar with it, or if you must use jargon, explain it.
Yes, because otherwise you just sound like you're trying to impress people with big words, and half the time people just end up confused. Leveraging synergistic paradigms for optimal stakeholder engagement. Like, what? Just say working together to make things better.
Yeah, that sounds like a line from a bad corporate training video. And it also brings us to tone, which is, I think, probably the trickiest part of the email body, because you can't hear the voice, you can't see the facial expressions, so your tone has to do all the heavy lifting.
It really does, and it's so easy to get it wrong. You might think you're being lighthearted, and it comes across as sarcastic, or you're trying to be firm, and you sound like a robot overlord.
Resistance is futile. Your vacation request has been denied.
Precisely, especially when you're delivering tough news. Like, say you have to tell someone their proposal didn't get approved, or that the annual pizza party is canceled due to, like, a global pepperoni shortage.
The horror. How do you deliver that news with, maybe a sprinkle of our signature comedic flair? Not making light of the pepperoni shortage.
It's a very serious matter.
No, never make light of a pepperoni shortage. But it's about maintaining rapport. You can be direct without being blunt or insensitive. Maybe, I'm afraid we've hit a slight snag with the pepperoni supply chain, instead of no pizza for you.
Yeah, it's like a softer landing. You're delivering the same message, but you're wrapping it in a bit of empathy. And sometimes a little self-deprecating humor can actually work if it's appropriate for your workplace culture. Like, I know I cried a little too when I heard about the pepperoni.
Exactly. Or, I've personally started a petition to import more pepperoni from Italy, but for now, we'll have to make do with cheese. It shows you're human, you understand the disappointment, but you're still professional enough to state the facts.
And it definitely helps to read your email out loud before sending it, right? Because what sounds fine in your head can sometimes read completely differently.
Oh, absolutely. The read it out loud test is crucial. If it sounds like something you'd say to a person, it's probably got a good tone. If it sounds like you're dictating a memo to a silent, disapproving robot, then maybe rethink it.
Yeah, if it sounds like a cease and desist letter, you've probably gone too far. And also, think about the recipient's perspective. Are they going to understand your tone? Are they going to interpret it the way you intend? Because that's the whole point, right? To communicate effectively.
Exactly. To communicate effectively. And once you've communicated effectively, once you delivered the news, whether it's good, bad, or pepperoni related, you can't just ghost them. You can't just drop the mic and vanish into the digital ether. You need a grand finale, the curtain call, if you will. Because how you end an email is just as important as how you start it, if not more so. It's that last impression.
It really is. It's like, when you're at a party and you've had a great conversation, but then you just slowly back away into the shadows, you need a proper goodbye. And in emails, that often means a clear call to action.
Oh, absolutely. The call to action. This is where you tell people what you actually want them to do. Because sometimes you get an email and you read it and you're like, okay, so what now? Am I supposed to reply? Wait for a reply? Burn this email?
Right? Is this a statement? A question? Am I being informed, or am I meant to, launch a rocket? It needs to be crystal clear. Don't say, let me know if you have any questions. That's like saying, think about what I just said, maybe, if you feel like it.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of, I've said my piece, the ball's vaguely somewhere in your court. No, be specific. Please review the attached document and provide your feedback by end of day Friday. Now that's a call to action. It's got a deadline, it's got an action, it's got a purpose.
Exactly. Or, could you confirm receipt of this email? Or, please schedule a meeting via my calendar link. That's actionable. It's not vague. It tells them precisely what to do next. You're holding their hand and guiding them gently to the next step.
Yeah, you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. And then, after the clear call to action, you need a proper closing. What do you go with? Best, regards, sincerely. Are there any you absolutely hate?
Oh, Leo, there are so many options and so many pitfalls. Best is always a safe bet. It's like the little black dress of email closings. It works for almost everything. Regards is good, maybe a bit more formal. Sincerely is quite formal. I'd save that for official stuff, like, a formal complaint about the pepperoni shortage.
Oh, cheers from a complete stranger is a bit much. It's like they're trying to be your best mate after one email. And yours in productivity. I once got that. I was like, are we at a cult? What does that even mean?
Oh, that's amazing. I once got rock on. And I was like, is this an audition? What's happening?
No, you want to leave a professional, polished impression. So generally, best regards, thanks, or thank you are your go-to options. And then your name. That's it. No emojis in professional sign-offs, please. Unless you're working for an emoji company.
Yeah, don't put a little winky face after please sign off on this multi-million-dollar contract. No, just, keep it simple, keep it professional, and ensure that the recipient feels like they've had a complete coherent conversation, not like they just got a note from a secret admirer who vanished.
Exactly. You want them to feel like, okay, I know what's going on, I know what to do next, and that person seems like they've got their act together. It's the grand finale, so make it count. Exactly. You want them to feel like, okay, I know what's going on, I know what to do next, and that person seems like they've got their act together. It's the grand finale, so make it count.
It really is. It really is. But you know, Leo, even with the perfect opening, the clear body, the brilliant call to action, and the classiest closing, there's still a minefield of potential disasters. We're talking about the email epidemics, the common mistakes that just wreak havoc.
Oh my goodness. The epidemics. It's like you've done all the hard work, you've crafted this masterpiece, and then poof, one little typo, one misplaced click, and suddenly you sent a memo to the entire company about your cat's questionable fashion choices.
Exactly, or a typo that completely changes the meaning of your professional request. I remember a colleague once typed pubic relations instead of public relations in an email to a potential client. He was mortified, absolutely mortified.
Oh, Leo, now that's priceless. And that's the thing, isn't it? Autocorrect is a double-edged sword. It tries to help, but sometimes it just sets you up for a comedic fall. And then there's the granddaddy of all email blunders, the reply all nightmare.
Been there, done that, accidentally forwarded a meme to the entire sales team thinking it was just my friend. It was not well received by some of the more senior members. The silence in the office that day was deafening. So what's the moral of these tragic yet hilarious tales?
Proofreading. It's the unsung hero of email writing. It's the safety net, the final line of defense against utter digital embarrassment. You simply cannot, I repeat, cannot hit send without giving that email a once-over and maybe even a twice-over.
Absolutely. I always say, read it out loud. Seriously, it sounds silly, but when you read it out loud, your brain catches things your eyes might just skim over. You'll hear the awkward phrasing, the missing words, the unfortunate typos.
Yeah, and also, if you can, give it a few minutes. Write the email, then step away, get a glass of water, walk around the block, whatever. Then come back to it with fresh eyes. It's amazing what you'll spot. Because once it's out there, it's out there. There's no unsending pubic relations.
No matter how much you wish there was. It's like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube. So before you unleash your email into the wild, wild web, take that extra minute, read it, proofread it, and then, only then, hit send. Save yourself the blushes, save yourself the awkward apologies. Right, and speaking of leveling up, we've talked about avoiding the pitfalls, the embarrassing bits, but what about actually, making your emails shine? Like going from good to great.
Ah, yes, the glow up. We're talking about leveling up your emails, making them not just acceptable, but actually impactful. And first thing, for me, is readability. Like seriously, is your email a wall of text or is it an inviting pathway?
Oh, absolutely. Nothing makes me want to close an email faster than a giant, unbroken paragraph. It's like it just screams, I have no respect for your time, so prepare to decipher this novel.
Exactly. Break it up. Short sentences, short paragraphs. Use bullet points for lists, bold key phrases, but don't bold everything or it looks like you're shouting. Think of it as a beautiful email buffet, not a brick wall.
Oh, yes. My sanity truly depends on templates. How many times do you write a follow-up email after a meeting or an introduction or, just circling back? If you have a template, you just plug in the specifics and boom, consistency, speed, and you sound professional without even trying. It's like having an email cheat code.
It really is, and it ensures you don't forget crucial information because sometimes when you're typing from scratch, you might miss a detail. A template keeps you on track. It's like a pre-flight checklist for your email.
Such a good point. And then I think probably one of the most important things for leveling up, once you've got the basics down, is understanding your audience. Who are you actually talking to? Because you wouldn't talk to your CEO the same way you'd talk to your buddy from college, right? Unless your CEO is your buddy from college, in which case, maybe still differentiate.
Yeah, you wouldn't show up to a board meeting in a Hawaiian shirt. Probably not. Unless it's like a Tropical Friday board meeting, in which case, than you would. So knowing your audience means knowing their level of understanding, their preferred style, and what resonates with them. Are they busy and need bullet points, or do they need all the details laid out?
Exactly. It's empathy in email form, putting yourself in their shoes, because ultimately you want your message to land, right? You want them to read it, understand it, and actually do something with it.
Exactly. It's not just about getting the words on the page, it's about getting the message into their brain and ideally their action list. So, readability, templates, and audience awareness. 3 quick tips to really level up your email game.
Wow, that was quite the journey through the email wilderness, wasn't it, Vicky? From the perils of the poorly penned to the glory of the well-structured send.
Oh, absolutely, Leo. We have navigated subject lines, tackled tone, wrestled with reply alls, and learned the magic of the humble template. I feel like we've collectively saved 1 million inboxes from despair.
Indeed. So if you take anything away from today, it's really, be clear, be concise, be considerate of your reader, and for goodness sake, proofread. Like seriously, just one more time.
Yes, proofread like your job depends on it, because sometimes it kind of does. And remember your audience. Don't show up to a board meeting in a Hawaiian shirt unless it's a tropical Friday.
Precisely. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of English Edge, everyone. We really appreciate you tuning in and letting us ramble about emails.
Yes, thank you. And if you enjoyed today's deep dive into email mastery, or, just enjoyed our general silliness, please do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, leave us a review, and tell your friends. It really helps us out.
It truly does. And, we've got so many more linguistic adventures planned. Next time, who knows? We might be tackling the comma conundrum, or perhaps the perils of parallel structure.
Ooh, the comma conundrum sounds like a proper mystery. We'll be solving all the English language mysteries one episode at a time, so stay tuned for more English Edge.
Until next time, happy emailing and keep those words sharp.
Ta-ta for now.